Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your girl, Malaysian Quita, and you are watching Sin TV here on NowHipHop.com. Sin TV stands for Smart, Intelligent News. Today's story and interview, I must say, not only did it move my heart, but it compelled me to be better than where I'm at. And who I'm referring to, of course, is Frances Wellington. We all know her as the wonderful and well-respected mother of Jay Holiday. But I must say that when it comes to, music and the industry, a lot of times people think that they just jump from one place to success. But what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of these artists, and especially in the R&B and soul industry, it's a very hard and tedious ladder to climb. She released a book and is called Raising Jay Holiday, A Mother's Untold Story. And let me tell you a little bit more about her before we go into the interview. Frances Wellington, the author, is a single mom, widow, prophet, business owner, and friend of the people who have birthed an arsenal of power that the world needs. She has written over 50 teaching books for her elementary age students and has penned more than 600 poems which are scheduled to be published in the future. It is my pleasure and my honor and definitely my privilege to give you my interview with Jay Holiday's mom, Frances Wellington. Can you tell us a little bit more about you and your background?
Let's see. Well, I'm the mother. My name is Frances Wellington, of course. I'm the mother of 3 children, 6 grandchildren. My son is the rhythm and blues singer Jay Holiday, and I'm originally from North Carolina, but I've spent some time in D.C. and Fairfax County, Virginia, and I'm an ordained minister. I'm a singer, poet, that's a lot of other things.
And in regards to, because to me, like when I was reading about you, I noticed that in this industry, to be a godly person sometimes can be a difficult thing. I mean, we have shows like, the Pastors of L.A. How do you feel about those types of programming, and how do you try to kind of separate yourself from an industry that sometimes can be full of, I would say, things that are promiscuous?
Well, the thing about it, the whole thing about it, a person has to remember who they are. I know who I am, so it doesn't matter. Even if I may not agree with some things that are going on, I'm rooted enough in who I am that it doesn't really sway me either way. I still keep my focus on what I'm doing.
And I commend you for that, because I feel that when it comes to, some women of color, I mean, of course there was the issue, with her relationship, Candy, and her mother on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The main question that I would like to ask you is, how do you maintain your relationship with your son, considering, once again, I always talk about how there's a lot of challenges in this business to keep families. So how do you keep your family together?
Well, relationship with my son. See, we had a relationship before he became famous. We were always had a great relationship, even as he was growing up. So as far as him becoming famous, that didn't change anything. We just got even closer. He respects me as his mother. I respect him as someone that's my son, but he's also a famous son. So it didn't change anything at all. I don't even if it's something that I don't agree with about what he's doing, I would never embarrass him in front of everybody. I would put him aside and tell him what I think, and then give him my opinion, and then he can go forth from that. But our relationship would never change. I would never let fame come in between us, money or anything. So we've already have had a great relationship for all of our lives, since he was in this world.
Now, I'm sure everybody's going to ask, considering, the period of time that Jay Holiday has had his career so far, why did you decide to release the book now
than maybe later on in his career, or maybe towards a period of time, when he's going for like a greatest hits album, for example?
Oh, no. I had to release this book right now. Matter of fact, I should have released it earlier than this, but I'm releasing it now. Why? Because my son had gone through so many changes when he was in high school, even before he became famous. He was going through a lot of changes. As his father passed away, my husband passed away. So that's what, when I realized I had to really keep a hope, make sure he wasn't get involved in the streets or drugs and all that type of thing. So I'm releasing it now because I wanted the world and his fans to know that he didn't just become Jay Holiday overnight. There were some strugglers, some his own peers didn't like him. They wanted to hurt him. They didn't want him around because he was jealous. And so I wanted the world to know the struggles that a single mom goes through. You don't wait until later on. You do it now to help these single mothers that are going through things with our children, or single grandparents, or single fathers also. So I think the best time would be right now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I think often when we think of, an artist, we don't necessarily think about their family dynamic and the struggle. Can you give an example of the struggle? Because I think, everybody just kind of focuses on the glam of the industry, but not necessarily the challenge. Like, what do you feel was the most challenging thing for him once he, released the song, his hit song, Bed, and then everything else that came after that?
Well, first of all, let me just go back to his first, not only Bed. Let me go back to when he released his first song. Bed was not the first song. Be With Me was the first video shoot that I went to, which we spent about 18 hours. But that one didn't catch on like people. They sometimes catch on to certain songs or whatever. So I told him not to fear, not to worry. I said, because you're gonna get a hit, because mom needs a hit. So I said, don't worry about it, because I'm very musically inclined and I got a good ear for music. So when he told me about, even before the song was released, the drama started, because people were saying that, certain artists were saying, well, I supposed to have been singing that song, yada, 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 whatever. So I told my son, listen, you don't worry about that. You don't get in a beef with people. You supposed to be singing this song. The song was meant for you. It's going to take you to the top, and that's exactly what it did. And then even after that, it's always people talking, run their mouth, don't really know what's going on, But I told my son, just stand back and just watch. You don't worry about what people are talking about. You just do you, and take yourself to the top. So that's what happens. So the struggle with a lot, people, a lot of just people, his own peers, or just people talking. That's all.
And what are some key things would you say for an artist that is coming up? Because everyone, calls themselves an up-and-coming artist. But what advice would you give to, I would say, to mothers out there who have a son who don't want to be corrupted by what goes on within the industry?
Well, this is the thing. What you have to do, and every mother that's listening, whether they are in the church, out of the church, it don't make no difference. What they have to do is this thing starts at home. See, charity starts at home and spread abroad. You have the mothers have to have sons that they see they're going to be famous, or no matter what they're doing, singing, dancing, whatever. Make sure they have a foundation, a good foundation to stand firm on. So when the drama starts, that they won't get swayed to the left or to the right. And the reason I say that, because my son will tell the world, he tell them all over the world, in states and overseas, my mom is an ordained minister, and she gave me a good foundation. So these parents need to make sure these kids have a good foundation. Not only that, make sure that you allow your kids to grow up and be who they are, because God has given them a gift. And if you do that and support them, you will be all right.
I definitely agree, and I wish, I wish there were more children in the industry who had, like, the same thing with me. My mother, raised me in the same way. But I must say, Francis, you look amazing. How do you keep yourself looking so fabulous?
What do you see me at? What picture are you looking at? Let me say that. See first.
I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm looking at the interview that you did with Unsigned Blast, and I was like, this is Jay Holiday's mom. I'm like, wow.
Oh, when I was stepping out of the car, that one?
Yeah, when you were stepping out of the car and you had that
okay.
look, you mean business.
Oh, yeah, ain't to be played with. Trust me, ain't to be played with. But you said, how do I look look like that? Well, what it is, I've always been conscious of how I look, of staying in shape, and all of those type of things. And looking nice, you ain't got to look, just because you're a mother, you still can look good, right? So I exercise, I walk, I eat right, and all these type of things. And that's another thing that mothers need to do. Just stop, not taking care of yourself. Keep yourself up. So that's what I do. And I had on a long sleeve dress, if I ain't mistaken, a long sleeve on that picture. But I do a lot of exercise and keep my muscles in shape. I might be able to knock somebody out. I don't know yet.
Because for me, like I see, because I think you defy the stereotypes of what it means to be a mom. Because I think sometimes people think that when you're a mom, like people would tell me like once you become a mom, that's it. But you have proven likewise. Your son came out absolutely wonderful. He's doing amazing things. You're doing amazing things. So I just want to tell you that I respect you to the highest degree, and I appreciate you being on today's program. I'm very grateful for that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I enjoy talking to people because they need to know about how parents keep, and especially single moms, keep their kids. Because once my husband passed away, my son was 11 years old, and I was determined I'm not losing my son to drugs in the street. I said, I don't know how I'm going to make it. I said, we may go without. I said, whatever. I didn't know he wasn't going to be famous then. He was just a little boy, 11 years old. But I was determined. When he decided he wanted to be a singer, he was 14. And he got standing ovation and singing My Funny Valentine at a talent show. That's when he realized it, see? And what had happened was I brought him down to Atlanta, because I've been always living in Atlanta. I brought him down to he was enrolling in Clark, Atlanta, or Morehouse, and he decided to enroll in Clark. He had gotten his classes and everything. And I told him, he said, Mark, could I work on my music for a year? I said, listen, I've taught you about God. I've given you a foundation. Whatever you do, don't use God's name in vain, but I'm going to support you in your music because God has given you the gift. And that's what I was determined to do.
And once again, there are a lot of moms who don't support their sons in what they do. And I think that it's really important to see, and with reading the book, definitely, the book has received absolutely amazing reviews on Amazon. It's definitely, a book that I'm going to continue reading and inspiring people to know about it, because I think, once again, we focus so much on the negative part of the industry that people sometimes don't realize that you can go to this industry and have some self-respect for yourself. And not only has your son proven that, but I believe that you have correlated that as well, and you are definitely the example of what it means to be a strong Black woman. And I think that we need that, because I feel like these moms that are out there now, it's not the same. So I really appreciate what you do, what your son has done, definitely.
So you said you already you said you're reading the book already and already in the reviews and things too already?
Yeah, I actually looked online and looked at the reviews, and it's very people really like it. It's very well respected.
Right, and see, my son. See, I have two daughters now. He have an older sister that was in the music industry first. She's still working on her album now, but she was the one that sold my son, her brother, his first album. She showed him his first his first keyboard. Keyboard. I was thinking about. Yeah, she sold him his first keyboard, but she's in the music too. And then my other daughter is working on her master's degree and stuff like that. But we've always been a close knit family and everything, and supported each other. And that's what parents should do. Just support your kids. Let them do what they want to do, and don't be making them feel bad. Because a lot of people ask me, how do you feel about your son using these type of words, these cuss words, about you being a minister? I said, listen, that doesn't take anything away from me being who I am. I want to know what he say when he's not bleeping, and I want to listen to the albums from Walmart and the ones from Explicit. Hey, he's my son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And believe me, I understand what you mean. I mean, definitely when I say things, people say it's controversial, but I think people always want to find things and start things to make themselves relevant. And of course, I mean, there are a lot of people who are jealous of, the natural talent that he's been blessed with. And I mean,
oh yeah,
that's just something that I feel it comes with the industry. But the thing is, unlike other artists that are out there, he didn't allow that to consume him.
Right, there you go. He didn't allow it to consume him, because I told him, and he said in many interviews, and I heard him say, I will not do anything to embarrass my mother. And do you know how that make me feel? My son thinks very highly of me. He make his mistake. He have his shortcomings. But one thing I know, if I don't know anything else, my son loves me, and he respects me, and he honors his mother. That's why he's so blessed, because that's one of the things that the Bible says, honor your mother and father, may your days be longer. So he honors me, and God can't do nothing but bless him. You understand what I'm talking about? Because he promised.
Oh, yes,
so
definitely.
I'm excited about that. So everybody should get this book. Everybody, friends should buy a book for their friend, and because this is something to read and to have on your bookshelf. Because I tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I don't sugarcoat. I tell it from the beginning. When he was a baby, I tell how I met his father, what happened, when my husband passed away, the aftermath, the funeral. I tell about all that. You know what I'm saying? People need to know. How did I make it? Me and God, the help of God is how I made it. And prayer. Yeah.
Yep, that's how. I mean, for me, the fact that I'm talking to you is definitely a blessing for me.
Oh yeah.
I felt that just like your son, when you start in this business, there's a lot of naysayers, there are a lot of negativity, there's a lot of just overall criticism, and that can consume you. And I've seen that happen to a lot of artists. So I think, like what you've been saying, is that you have to have preservation and perseverance to say to yourself.
That's right.
You have to say to yourself that no matter who or what challenges may come in my way, I have to keep going. And I mean, for me, I go just like how your son does, because I have fans that look up to me and they consider me to be a role model. So I think that's definitely what I feel people will learn from this book, is that there are challenges, there are things that happen.
Oh yeah.
But in the end, if you really want it, you have to really go for it.
That's right, and I you are so right. And I want the people to really read this book, because in the preface I tell about how about 60 boys came to my house one night, but had not I been led by God, I wouldn't have been home. It would have been a bloodbath. So I want them to read about how the gang came to my house to hurt my son. He wasn't even famous then. He wasn't even famous. But see, one thing I taught my kids, and you said the word just out of your mouth, you said perseverance. I talk about it in the book. You'll see it. I talk about perseverance. I don't care if you knock on the door, somebody don't let you in, well, knock on the next door. Keep knocking. Somebody's going to let you in after a while. Somebody's going to give you an opportunity of whatever you're trying to accomplish. Somebody's going to give you an opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Thank you so much, Francis.
Yes.
I'm very grateful. No, go ahead.
And no, I was going to say, when you finish, could I give all the places where they can buy the book from, so they, and to give a shout out to the SBC, which is Laura Sasso, which is the one that caused me here at Mike Neal to have these interviews. And I want the people to know everybody can go to my website if they want to, and I'll spell it, because some people can't. It might be hard to announce, but my website is www.nunji, N as in Nancy, A as in Apple, U as in up, N as in Nancy, G as in girl, E as in eat, and Y as in you. So that's nunji.com. They can go there, and then it'll take you straight over to, you can read all about me, but it'll also take you straight to Amazon. Then it's also on Books of Millions, Barnes and Nobles, and Clary's Books. And just, buy your book, read, and go back and give me a review.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna get my copy. I'm gonna sit down and enjoy reading and learning more about what success is about.
Yes. then we all have had our setbacks and our shortcomings, but you got to keep persevering. You cannot let what people say get you down. You got to keep it moving, because they talked about Jesus, they talked about him, but he became the King of Kings. So whatever your destiny, your goal is, everybody have a purpose. Always remember that, and don't let nobody can be. There's no another person like you in the world. You understand? God didn't create a double you unless you have a twin. You understand what I'm talking about? So you got to persevere and reach your goal. Don't give up.
No, I won't. Francis, once again, I am so grateful for you for doing this interview tonight. I just want to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart, and definitely I'm letting everybody know about your book, because I think there's so many misconceptions about your son, and I really feel that now with your book it's going to come to forefront, and people will have a second opinion and think twice about what they have to say about anything, because they don't know people don't know everything.
No, they don't. And this is coming from the horse's mouth, his mother. And who don't know their child no better than I do? You understand what I'm saying? And remember, people going to always talk, yap, and people say he was one hit wonder. I read it all the time on it. And I said, man, my son been working ever since he put out his second album. People know and he's a hard worker. He's a grinder. And he works for what he gets. He don't want anything in the handouts. And I'm very excited. I'm proud of my son. So very proud of him. But I'm so glad you called me tonight and talked with me, and hopefully this spreads, and I hope I can be able to listen to this interview later or so forth. But I'm very excited about the different interviews I've been having with different people all over.
Yeah, I'm very excited for you, and I mean, I wanted to jump on to talk to you because I felt that, I've always been a fan of Jay Holiday. My sister, we admire him. My whole family loves him as an artist and as a person. And, when I said that, I was talking to you, I felt so privileged. I was like, thank you, God. Like, I was the girl who, everyone said the same thing. I wasn't going to amount to anything. So talking to you and learning about all the people all over the world that I talk to, it gives me strength every day to know that I'm doing the right thing. And, someday down the line, it takes time, but, success is not an overnight thing. It's a ladder that you have to climb, and you have to do it properly.
That's right, and Rome wasn't built overnight. I always remember that. Rome was not built overnight. You understand what I'm talking about? So, exactly. and I also know what you probably already know. My son is getting ready to release an album January the 28th. His third album will be being released January the 28th. Guilty Conscience is the name of it, so everybody need to go out and buy that too, and buy the album and the book at the same time.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to be spreading the word about that. I'm excited about the new album.
Oh, yeah. So spread the word, Quinte, right? Yeah, spread the word to everybody. Okay?
Yes, I will. I definitely will.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Francis. You take care of yourself, and we'll be keeping in touch.
Yeah, please do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wasn't she, just amazing? And she was, full of spunk and fire, and I love Frances Wellington. To me, is really the encompassment of what it means to be a woman of color, and to have that strength, and to persevere, and to never give up on your dreams and your aspirations. Of course, I have the highest respect for her son, Jay Holiday. I feel that he is a really underrated and really under-respected artist, but I enjoy his music, and I will have the links below, of course, not only to Jay Holiday's music so you can learn more about him, but I will also have the link to the book, which is called Raising Jay Holiday, A Mother's Untold Story. You can purchase the book at Amazon.com as well as BarnesandNoble.com, and I will have the exact links below so you can check it out and get your own copy, because let me tell you, this is a book that you will not put down. It is just jam-packed with inspiration once again, and action, and just things that you would never expect, and that kind of honesty to come out of a celebrity's mom. and she's a real person. You know, I really appreciate that. So once again, I really appreciate you guys' patience with Sin TV, as well as my other show. Excuse me, guys. See, I'm still sick. As well as my other show, which is called youtube.com/BelasianQuita, but is also known as Twisted Riot Girl. I really appreciate that you have stuck with me since day one with all of these changes. And now, of course, being part of the Now Hip Hop family, I gotta give shout outs to Now Hip Hop. I mean, I really appreciate you guys. I love each and every one of you. And the fact that you took me on, you took this Riot Girl on, this crazy reporter, I just am very grateful for it. I also want to make sure, I gotta give a shout out to X10 Magazine. They were the ones who provided this interview for me today with Francis. I am very, very, very grateful to them and what they have done for me. And I have a whole bunch of other goodies and treats and just awesome stuff going on. I can't give the details for everything right now, but believe me, it's going to be awesome, and I just have a lot coming up, so I really appreciate it. Let me know, what do you think about my interviews? Do you love them? Do you hate them? I really love hearing from you guys and hearing your opinions. Even on the nowhiphop.com website, I really value you guys as not only my fans, but just a community as a whole. I thank you for that. So once again, I am your lovely Riot Girl critic, Belasian Quita, and remember to get smart and stay informed.